Make up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. Yvette Nicole Brown is joining us today. So go on and tell your friends, cause we gonna have us a good time. And it don't even matter if this song doesn't or does not rhyme.
Woo! Hey!
Hey! Hello! What's going on? You already know what it is. It's another weekend for Blurred Church, and we are here, hallelujah, ready to celebrate our good friend, YMB, as you all know her as Yvette Nicole Brown. But before we get into the special guest for the day, as you already know how we do, we got to introduce ourselves as well. I am your boy, the real Vince Taylor, reporting live from the Spider-Man cave. What's up, Barbie? How you doing? Ow, pull on up. Oh, there you are, over there. My bad. Hey, what's going on? And we are also joined by the one and only Nolly in the house. We got Steph in the house. We got Ty in the house. We got Yes in the house. We've even got Good Time in the house. And someone who we believe really needs no introduction because, good Lord, we all know you've seen her in things like Community. You've seen her in, most recently, Black Lady sketch show coming out with a new season. And let's pull up on Act Your Age. Please help us welcome to the platform once again, as promised, Yvette Nicole Brown.
I'm happy to be back. I'm so happy to be back.
Look at this.
Thanks for having me.
Fam.
Listen, I need the shirt you guys have on, but we're gonna do this today. I need the merch. I need the merch. Bring the merch into the storehouse.
I got you. Don't
it's
worry.
On the way. In fact, I think we're gonna end this quick, and we're gonna start marching over there like in the next few minutes immediately. But Miss Brown, how art thou today?
I am so good. I am so grateful that you guys gave me 2 more hours to sleep. Because we were going to do this at the 7 of the a.m. And I'm so happy that we pushed it a little bit. But I'm doing great, guys. Good to see your faces.
Nah, anything for you, of course, man. Well, listen, we know that your time is valuable, Miss Brown, so we definitely don't want to take up too much of it by playing around with it. I have some questions with regard to some of the most recent projects that you've had, but I just want to take a couple moments and just big you up because, I mean, listen, you have done something that is a major feat in Hollywood, and that is you have lasted. There's longevity with you. There's decades upon decades. There's a catalog that precedes, and I'm going to keep it real. I mean, my daughter, who's 13 now, is like, Daddy, isn't that your friend? Like she's watching shows, and she's like, I'm like, well, we cool. So I just wanted to just make sure that I'm sure that there are plenty that know, as I'm sure you have a fan base that is loyal to you. But for those that are not in the know, this is a young lady who has proven that it's not a one-off. We're not a one-hit wonder. We have the ability to not only do shows, but also appear in major movies, some of which have been considered the biggest movies of all time. And in addition to that, we have cross-culture appeal. Like we can go from certain types of audiences that are being viewed by certain crowds to others that got a little bit more soul in them. You know what I'm saying? They go all seamlessly. Hallelujah. So I'm just wondering, like, how does it feel to be able to look up and say and just realize that you can stand the test of time and do it all while growing younger at the same time? Explain this to me.
Well, first of all, that young in the sentence is doing a lot of work. It's doing a lot of work because I'm an old lady. But thank you so much for that. I am so amazed that I've had the career I've had. Anytime, like even you guys asking me to come back, I'm always surprised and just so humbled that anybody wants to talk to me or find out what I think about something. Like it's a dream come true, and it's nothing but God. I don't take any credit for it because I think I said this last time we were together. I'm not supposed to be working in this business. I'm of a certain age. I'm brown skin. I'm got natural hair. I'm black. I'm chubby half the time. Like it just ain't none of this supposed to be working out for me. So it's just really just a testament to how good God is and how kind people are that I get to have this career. I don't take it for granted at all.
We will not do any Yvette slander in here, Barbie. Yes, so don't you sit here and try to talk about you like that. We know that you blossoming. And so we sincerely adore you and appreciate it. But yeah, man, that must be like in itself. Just to kind of kick things off, and then Steph, we'll throw some things your way. My fascinating lies in the ability to have cross culture appeal, right? Like in our realm, just with being what we call ourselves blurs. Listen, I'm gonna throw it out there. We posted something of a clip with you in it where you were breaking down the meaning of having blurred them in your lexicon. And of course, it's immediately met with the anti-woke mob and you a millionaire, Tony, this, that, third. So it's a feat in itself. It's a talent. It's a skill set to be able to say, listen, I can easily go in front of, certain cameras that may be filmed for, Disney Plus or whatever. And then at the end of the day, I can go on over to Bounce.
Right
and we
over
can have a good old time, and we'll roll bouncing on up. So, do you think that is something that is underlooked? Like it in a sense, that requires a certain skill set, does it not?
I think it requires that you actually like people. I think it requires you to be professional, and I think it requires you to have very thick skin. Because this business is, especially for us, is rife with microaggressions and the need to smile, though you want to choke somebody out because of some foolishness. And just understanding that it's bigger than you. When I came in this industry, I was aware that wherever God took me, it was an assignment, right? And that is, if it's in a commercial set or it's on the set of Avengers Endgame, my goal is to be of service and to shine a light and to be a refuge for those that need him on a set. And so everywhere I go, I'm looking for what my assignment is. Now, while I'm there, I'm also acting or cracking jokes or doing whatever I need to do to keep the job. But my job there is not the job. My job there is not the lines. And so what I found, and not to turn this into church, but it's right before Easter when we're filming it. What I found is that when God can trust you, he will let you go a lot of places. He knows that when you get there, you will do his work and leave the glory to him. He will allow you to go places. And so I am proud that most of the gigs I've had have become repeat appearances, not because they were repeat appearances originally, just because people said, we like her. Let's bring her back. That's how Drake and Josh happened. That's how Black Lady Sketch Show happened. There's not a lot of people that return on Black Lady Sketch Show not doing the same sketch.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what it is. And it's not me. It's just being on assignment and doing what God calls me to do.
Amen to that, Tyrone.
Yeah, and with this the thick skin, the liking people. Now, one thing about you, it's very obvious who you do not mess with and who you do not like in this world. And I respect that so much because not a lot of people in your position will be politically vocal or socially vocal and take stances on things. And I noticed that's something that you do very well. And your troll hunting skills are admirable and are some of the best I've seen. But was there a point where you were like, no, I can't keep this inside. I have to be vocal about this and I have to take a stand? Or was that just always in you as you were growing?
It's from birth. It's from birth. My mother raised me to be politically aware. She raised me to be civically minded. She raised me to fight the good fight. And then, growing up, my dad was Muslim for a while. So I grew up hearing Malcolm X. I love Martin Luther King Jr., Stokely Carmichael. I don't let Disney fool you. I'm a Black woman. I'm a Black woman from East Cleveland, Ohio. And I love people and I love to share the light of God, but I don't suffer fools gladly. And I always call a spade a spade. And I am very, good with my money. I grew up poor. I know what it's like to have a bill collector call in the house. And so I really do really well with my money. So if I ever say the right thing, the important thing, and it costs me a job,
wow.
I don't care. I don't care. I will be on the right side of history. I will get my well done when I leave here. And if somebody is harming people or is more focused on money than people, or pushing voter suppression or on the side of the NRA, or just as flat out white supremacist, racist BS, I'm coming for you. I will use every platform I have to come for you. And I don't care if you like it, and I don't care if you like me. That's where I've gotten now. 50 gets you to the point where you no longer even care if people like you. It's nice. It's nice if you think I'm great, but I don't care if you think I'm not, especially if the reason you think I'm not is because I told you the truth about your nastiness. I don't know. You don't have to like me.
Yeah.
All right, General Yvette. I'm gonna start calling you General Yvette.
Listen,
Yeah, I'm ready to follow you in a battle.
Brother, we in the fight of our lives, though. I'm turning my phone off.
Oh,
We're in the fight of our lives, and people act as if this is a game. It's not. And that's why I'm always pushing for voting, because if you watch what's happening right now in these cities where they're banning books and removing tenure for teachers and telling teachers you can't teach about the truth of this nation or we're going to snatch your job. So people got to eat. So people are now afraid to tell the truth. So what are we building here? If we knock down all the truth tellers, what are we building?
Or we're expelling black congressmen in Tennessee.
I was just getting real. We dispatching Yvette to Tennessee immediately. You know what I'm saying? And the whole YMB army is coming right behind her too. So I'm sure you saw that with the Justins and with the Tennessee.
Yeah, and it's been the biggest fight I've been fighting on Twitter recently has been about this the myth of white supremacy, right? Like I used to think that the racist white people I would encounter knew what they were doing and were aware, and most of them do. They are aware. They know they're hateful, and they racist white people are hateful. That's evergreen tweet meme. It's true. But what I've learned, and I learned this after the Hillary Clinton debacle, when I found out so many white women didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, which is foreign to me, because if you put a black woman up and she's as capable as Hillary Clinton was, every black woman is voting for that black woman. So I didn't understand how we could have this amazing white woman who looked like them, was a good woman, was a smart woman, was the most qualified person to ever run for president. And 53% of white women said, I just don't like her. I didn't understand it. So I started asking my white friends. I have a lot of white female friends. And I was like, Jen, Beth, break it down. Those are the real names. I ain't just throwing names out. Break it down. And all of them across the board shared with me that white women, as a rule, are not raised with kinship. In the same way black women say, sis, I can see any black woman anywhere in the world and call her sis or nod at her and she's my sister. They're not raised like that. They're raised to be in competition with each other. They're raised where if somebody gets through, it has to be me. Now, we as black women have met black women like that, and they're foreign to us because we don't understand it has to be me. We don't understand the mean girl in the black realm, right? White women live in that space. And so the white women that are able to find kinship with white women cling to it, but they're rare. So their kinship and their bond is formed with the men that they find who will protect them and take care of them through their lives. Wow. Right? And that's why they will go into a voting booth and vote for what that white man tells them to do instead of what is right for the nation, because their protection comes from in that house because of the policies that man and the men like him will create. Where with black people, our strength comes from our what? Community. So we vote in a way that makes everybody okay. And that's why it's important to follow what black women choose to vote for. But and so with going back to the white supremacy thing, I realize now why they center themselves so much, because they've been taught that only they matter. So if a conversation is happening and they're not the focus of it, they're like, well, I got to find a way to get to the middle of this. So you're talking about those two young men that were expelled. But what about Gloria? Why aren't you talking about Gloria? Because Gloria wasn't expelled. Gloria has her job. So my tweets are about the two that don't have their jobs. Wow. But she did great things. It's not about what she did. It's about, this tweet is about the expulsion of two people, and Gloria is not one of those two. And why are we now talking about Gloria when my tweet was about the two that got expelled? 100%. It's insidious. They can't help themselves. And that tells me that white supremacy and racism is child abuse. They are raising their children to not see others. And when they say, oh, I don't see color, that means not that I don't see color. That means you're invisible to me and you don't matter to me. And that's dangerous. And they're making laws. We're watching them in Congress. All this foolishness they're pulling in Congress. It's ridiculous. And let me tell you, the biggest example of how delusional and crazy they are is Marjorie. I call her Margarine Tater Gargoyle. boldly declaring that she was going to New York and she was going to New York and was going to hold a protest in New York.
How'd that work for you?
She thought that because she speaks in her little bubble and she talks to the other maggots just like her, that she was going to go to New York and set it off. And what happened? What happened?
Right out.
How'd that work out?
They ran her out within 3 minutes. She had to go hide in a car and do an interview with the man that she had an affair with that caused both of their marriages to fail in order to get out what she was trying to say. But she didn't get it out in the park in New York. So what they're learning when they step outside the bubble is that the majority of us, and not just Black people, there's a lot of white people that are sick of this mess too. The majority of us are like, no ma'am, or no gargoyle. Not here. And I think the more they get to see what we really think of them and their policies, and that's why they do voter suppression, and that's why they expel legislator people that say things that are good, because they don't want the world to see what it really is. So we got to keep talking, we got to keep protesting, we got to keep calling them out. Sorry, I talked for 10 minutes, but I just get when oof.
Oh, you better work. Shoot. You have no other way. We ain't trying to mute you. This is not the Tennessee State House.
Come on.
Come on. But I will ask you this, as it pertains to your career and such, and then we'll throw it over to Steph. You said just now that, one thing that I know that's uniform with Black women is they better with money than we are. We just flip. We like, hey man, how much that car cost? Oh, okay, put it in the bag. And I'm like, hold on, we got a winter coming. You know what I'm saying? So as it pertains to that, have you ever? And I'm not asking you to point anybody out, call anybody out, or name any specific projects. Every time I call out Steph and say, Steph, okay, there you are. Okay, cool, just making sure. Every time you voice your opinion on something, it's empowering. However, has it ever directly impacted a project that you were looking to work on, or an affiliation that you had to break with, or have you ever found yourself basically at the mercy of somebody who had a different opinion than you when it comes to a project that you may have been kind of enthusiastic about and just having to be like, all right, well, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. No big deal.
Yeah, if it has, I don't know, and if it did, I wouldn't care. Honestly, I really wouldn't. And I'm not, and I pray some, come on, test me on it. If you think I'm lying, test me on it. I really don't care, because anybody that has a problem with what I say, they're on the wrong side of history. I research everything before I say it. I make sure that I'm talking about the stuff that matters. So if someone doesn't like what I have to say about something politically, that ain't my tribe. No way. I don't want to be on set with you for 12 hours. If you think that Marjorie Taylor, whatever that chick name is right. If what I just said, if all that stuff I just said, you think is wrong, then I don't want to work with you. Take the job. Take the job. Because I've said before, I got a college degree. McDonald's and Starbucks are always hiring. So I will go and get a job because I got my daddy and this dog to take care of, and I will take care of them. But my opportunities don't come from Hollywood; they come from God. He'll throw me an endorsement deal out of somewhere that'll cover whatever job I just lost. I don't care.
Nice. It's so rare. It's so rare in this business, though, especially we're comedians. Vince and I are stand-up comics, so there's a similar thing happening in comedy right now, where you got a lot of people who are deciding that the money is on the right. The money is talking to white supremacists and talking to bigots and talking to misogynists and this and that, and writing jokes for that. Exactly. And
you don't want that money.
And what happens is you just see people dropping off that list.
But there's people who are, you can look on Twitter. Candace Owens wants that money, and she's getting it. Van Jones wants that money, and he's getting it. And look what they have to do. Look how they have to debase themselves and sell out their race to get that money. And there's something in the Bible, 1 Timothy 6:10 says, the love of money is the root of all evil. It's not money. It's the love of money. You can be successful. God wants us to be successful, but not to the detriment of your people or your soul. So all money ain't good money. And let me tell you this too, guys. Everybody watching, fame ain't the prize you think it is. There's people are doing all this stuff for fame. Fame is vapor. Fame is a mist that you can get lost in. Fame is something that you got to fight your way through. Fame is something you can't see behind. Do you want to walk out your house and can't go to the garbage can without somebody taking your picture?
Wow.
Who wants that?
Solid point.
No, you don't. I'm telling you, you don't. What you want is a platform. What you want is for people to listen to what you have to say. And you can get there without having to sell yourself out to be famous. I'm telling you, fame is not the goal. Good work is the goal. Using your gifts to make people laugh and to uplift them or to make them think, that's the goal. The fame, you don't want that. I'm telling you, you don't.
It's the truth. I mean,
I know it is. I know you were joking.
I just playing. I do. I mean, I got into the realm of comedy and entertainment, frankly, to have a voice, because I always felt like I had a lot to say. And I felt like there was a community of folks that were not being represented as well. And I felt like if I can just jam my way in, if I had to use fame to get everybody else in the door, then that was the objective. And it's not even just blurredom. It's also, missing people, academic scholars, non-sports tall black men. That's a thing too. Right. I just figured, there's room for other, to kind of defeat the stereotypes and use whatever platform I have. And so, I'm not for the fame, but the ability to have your voice reach a certain number of folks.
Don't you feel like you have that though?
Well, now me and you friends, you know what I'm saying?
No, before me, I'm here because of what you were doing. I came the first time because of what you were doing. So how did I find you? How did I find out about you? Unless you were already doing the work and I said, I want to be down with what they're doing. So you're already doing it. You see what I'm saying? And you did it without the amount of followers you think you need to do it. That's my point.
Wow.
Look at Tabitha Brown. Tabitha Brown is a freaking empire. How did she get there? We were stuck in the house. And Tabitha started to just say, how you doing, y'all? What are you thinking about? And she was 100% herself. And she gave of herself. And now she's got TV shows, books, food. She's everywhere. And she didn't have to do anything to chase it, but be herself and do good work. And that's exactly what you all are doing. So the amount of influence you're supposed to have to do what you are called to do, that's the other part of it, though. We want the influence. But what if his territory he's given you is StreamYard? What if he ordained for this to be the place where you reach the 1 or 2 or 20 or 5 million people you're supposed to reach, and you trying to get on YouTube, or you trying to whatever? I'm just calling stuff out now. You trying to be the big. Maybe this is your big. Maybe what you're supposed to do is happening in these boxes today, and you're so busy looking over there trying to figure out, well, why so and so got what?
Yo, listen.
Grow where you planted.
First of all,
grow where you planted.
If you want me to cry on air, just say that.
I know, right?
You're doing it. Y'all are doing it. You guys are doing such good work, and you're making us look good. You're making black people look good. You're making blurs look good. You guys are doing it.
Yvette, we missed you so much. Hey, we missed you. So
come on in here, man.
We gotta do it. Oh my gosh!
All right,
yo, I hate to change it. I hate to change it up, man, because this is like powerful, man. But I just got to talk about this because I watched this with my kids. I was super excited to watch it. And then when I saw it, I was more impressed by what I saw. And my dad, the bounty hunter, and I just have to ask, because I obviously don't know, but what is it like doing a voiceover as opposed to actually being on set and having everybody in your face and the director and the cameras and everything like that?
Well, first of all, brother, thank you for bringing up that amazing show. I think that show, it's just everything. Yes. Like it's family, it's black, it's out of space, it's inclusive. Like it's just every doggone thing. And so thank you for bringing it up. I hope people will watch it on Netflix. It's a wonderful show. Voiceover is fun because the best thing about it now is that I can do it. Sorry, I got my fan on. I'm of a certain age and had a hot flash. Y'all see that happen? I believe in telling people what's happening as I start to miss. But so I have a booth now in my house. So when I go to record, I can go right down the hallway. I got a little doggy, a little bed for Harley to sit at my feet, and I go and I do my recordings there. And so it's perfect because I don't have to wear makeup and I don't have to wear Spanx, and I just get to sit there and look at the director or maybe the other actors on Zoom, and then you just get to create a character, and it's amazing. And it's a portion of this career that can sustain you. If it's raining outside, if there's a pandemic outside, you still get to be that thing, still get to be a part of the industry, and to be a part of a show that is just so beautifully drawn. And I'm just looking at the picture like, oh, it's so beautifully drawn and so well acted, and the story is so necessary, and it's just good. It's great. Voiceovers are great.
Wow. So you did it from home?
I did it from
home. So that's next level.
Yeah, we recorded all of that during the pandemic, because it takes about 2 years for at least a year, depending on the animation style, for a cartoon to come out. So that was even before I got my booth. I was in my closet at my old house, clothes all around me, sweating like crazy. What line we doing again? It was crazy.
Oh,
and
my
so
gosh.
now I'm at the place where I can, create an actual space. Because we couldn't go to studios for a while. It was dangerous. So yeah.
Did you find that challenging as an actor to be like not reacting to somebody, not being able to just kind of react to what they're doing, where you're just like, I gotta be in this emotional space or in this this vocal space, no matter what they're giving me, because they're not giving me anything.
It's so weird. I've always been a self-starter. So I think the way I was able even to book things in the beginning is that I don't care what the other person gives me.
Wow.
I'm going to give you this character.
That's awesome.
And a lot of times, you guys know, if those of you that audition, when you're auditioning, sometimes the person reading with you is dry bones.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't, I said I love you. But baby, why would you love me like this? You gotta give this, even though they're giving flatline, right?
Oh, yes.
And so it's the same thing with voiceover. Sometimes you go in the booth and there's an amazing session director who's also an actor. A lot of them are actors as well, and they will act with you. You say your line, they say your line, whatever. So that's awesome. But then there's sometimes they don't do that, or they have to do a quick session and they just go, they give me 3 in a row of each line. So then it's up to you to give 3 different, and not saying it the same way 3 times, 3 takes, 3 different ways of saying each line. And that is the quickest way to get through a session, and I love it, because I'm gonna give you 3 unique takes. Where the snail going now? The snail falling down into the water hole. Okay, let me do some. You just do the stuff, and then they go, we're moving on. Now the snail is fighting with his mama. Now what, mama, why? You just literally get in here and act the same way we play make believe as kids. It's literally playing make believe.
I'm not gonna lie, that is one of my biggest dreams that I've always wanted to do, is be a voiceover on something. It doesn't matter what, I've always wanted it. I'm so eccentric just as a person in general. Yeah. I think it would just be a perfect job for me. I don't know.
You got my information. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna see what
you guys heard it. You guys heard it.
Absolutely. Let's talk about it and figure out what you want to do, and let's talk about it.
Cool. Thank you.
I would love to see just like a foul-mouthed snail or something, or a droid or something, just going nuts.
Well, this won't be on Disney.
What if I played like a debutante or something like that? Would that get you all I'm just saying. It's a voiceover.
I feel like you probably got range.
Yeah. I think Yaz would be probably maybe 4 lines in before it just turns utterly crazy and just it would just.
What you don't know is, before you came on, and I respect your beliefs, so we don't want to go too far into this. But when Yaz talks to her mom, it's like every other word.
Listen, let me just hold on. Let me just redeclare this, just so it doesn't sound just perfect. My mom and I are to a point in our relationship where we have passed my raising and my that whole, we are best friends. I talk to her every day, all day long. My mom is my best friend. She's also my mom. So I have a level of respect for her that most people don't have for their parents. So when I do talk to her, she understands I'm not being as vulgar as I would be to my friends. It's just part of my vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? She gets it. My mom, because my mom is adapted. I'm her child. She is understood. I am authentically myself. This is the child she raised. That's how she's raised me. And she can't fault me for it, because she has raised me that way. So she's going to adapt Okay.
Yes, Ty's about to stroke out. Ty's.
I know, but I'm just saying. Listen, I'm your
friend. I'm your friend, and I've never had anybody cursing me as much as you do. Never.
But she understands. She understands it's not in the same tone and like way I would say it to you guys. It's different. Man. Like it's. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm 30. My mom and I are just past the point of like she'll cuss right back at me. Like when I was talking to her, she was just like totally. You guys didn't hear how totally just nonchalant, just on to the next conversation.
She has cussed her mom into submission. Like she has no choice.
No, I have not. Don't say it that way.
Let me say this. First of all, however you talk to her and if she's okay with it, that's y'all relationship, and I think you like it. I love it. But what I love more than anything is that you cherish your mother. Like you guys know, I lost my mom, so just however you can get it, get it. Mm-hmm. However you can get it. And if she is okay with it, it's fine. And let me say this, guys. I've been known to curse.
No. Breaking news.
I believe I believe it's a seasoning. It's a
Not
seasoning.
Cleveland.
It is a seasoning.
Not
It
100% East Cleveland.
Icy.
Oh yeah, we back from a quick commercial break. Still live with the one and only Yvette Nicole Brown. Yay! Thanks for the sound effects, Ty. Big deal. All right. So without further ado, man, we're gonna go ahead and get back into the space. It's the one and only Yvette Nicole Brown here, along with us. Thank you kindly for joining us as you do. Blurred Space, yes, man, and man, we are so thankful to have you here among us, as one of our blurs, one of our main blurs, and one of the reasons why we do know you is because our very own Steph bigged you up for being Phyllis Jenkins, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. All right, the one who is making sure white folks is doing what they supposed to be doing and not in places they ain't supposed to be, no matter whether it's present time or past tense. Tony
That's right.
I'm talking to you, Steve Rogers. But anyway, I think you had something to say real quick. Steph, what's popping?
Just first of all, I'm dying for the show. I want the Phyllis Jenkins Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. show so badly. I need it. So I'm just putting that out into the universe to be grabbed by whoever needs to grab it. But I have so many things I want to talk to you about. So I'm going to throw out a couple and we can make this like a choose your own adventure. I want to hear your thoughts on The Mandalorian. I want to know what else you're watching. And I also really want to talk to you about your love for and relationship with hip hop. I know that you were in a music video with Michael Bivins. I saw one of your posts recently about your, long history and background with New Edition. And I just want to fangirl and hear more about how that came to be.
Well, what do you want to do first? You want to do Mandalorian first?
Let's start with Mandalorian. And yes, this is, we can go wherever you want to go. But those are a couple things on the top of my head that was like, oh, I can't wait to talk.
I am still. Yes.
I will warn you quickly that if we go to Mandalorian, that may be a long conversation.
Yeah, that part.
I'm going to say
nerd out.
I love The Mandalorian. I love all of the Star Wars shows because each one of them has like their own flavor. In the same way with The Walking Dead, I used to call it original recipe and extra crispy when it was Walking Dead. And I kind of feel that way about the Disney Star Wars shows. Like some of them are more kind of Muppet-like. Some of them are more dark, serious. It all depends. And I think The Mandalorian is like our warm, fuzzy one. Like there's important things that happen and there's, battles and fights and all that. But at its core, it's really about Grogu and color and surprises like Lizzo and Jack Black popping in, and it's a warm fuzzy Star Wars experience, and I really enjoy it.
Go ahead, Steph.
Oh, I was just saying I love that about this show. I really related to The Mandalorian much more than I usually do to Star Wars. It was really, really cool to see the special guest stars this week. I'm wondering what are you hoping to see come up on? I was talking about how I'm like, I need him and Bo-Katan to kiss. I need the romance.
I mean, but how? He can't take the helmet off. He has to go back to the water. He has to go back to the water.
Hold on though. Right. If you're caught up, if you guys are caught up though, we're in an age of new Mandalorians. So
that's right. You're right.
You never know. Okay.
So maybe if
Bo-Katan walks both ways.
Yeah, if he's alone, and in his quiet place, she can take her, if he has his mask off in his quiet place and she comes in, I think maybe
all she has to do is follow him while he's eating.
In that quiet place they go to eat. That part threw me off too, honestly, because I was like, I don't know all the Mandalorian lore, but I was like, that's kind of cheating, because the point is the helmet's not supposed to come off. So I thought they were supposed to feed themselves. You know, like
how would you do that though? Like, what kind of food do you think that they can get in that?
Liquid diet.
Little slippery things that Lizzo was feeding Grogu. Just slip them up. Just suck them up in there.
That
blew my mind. The idea that they can take their mask off if they go to. It just was, I don't know. That's
like, let me get a 12 order of wings and a straw,
and a blender, please. Hilarious. Yeah. So I'm enjoying it though. I'm enjoying it. What do you think, Steph?
I'm liking it a lot. I actually was saying my theory on the helmet thing is I feel like it's not that hard to become a Mandalorian. Like, it was hard, but we've established the waters are still there.
They're still there. Like, so take it off and just go take it off. But the mythosaur is there, though.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, I think they put the mythosaur there so that we, the viewers, knew that it's not as easy as, let me pop this off right quick and take a dip. Like, every time you do that, you literally could die. So.
Yo, yeah. Okay. So what did you think when you saw Din Djarin and Bo-Katan finally bathe themselves in Lake Minnetonka, as we like to say? It was a monumentous moment, was it not?
It was. I don't know why he thought he wouldn't sink like a stone. You're in armor. You're in armor. So those first two steps are fine, but you're gonna go down at some point. I just don't know why I caught him completely off guard. It was ridiculous. How shocked he was.
Also, seal the helmet up. You just sealed it up like 5 minutes ago.
Absolutely.
You're good. Absolutely. You can breathe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have one question for you about Mandalorian really quickly. Okay, so now we know that, like Paz Vizsla has a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think about like them having kids? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, they don't have to take the helmet off to
I said the same thing. I'm just saying, thank you, my girl.
There ain't no rule against dropping trowel. There ain't no
rule. This is the way.
This is the way. This is one of the ways.
Which way? Right. See, when a Mandalorian man
like each other a lot.
There's a little thing. Steph, anything else? That we'll pass it on to somebody else.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much. I just wanted to cover Mandalorian quick. See, it didn't have to be a forever discussion. Yeah. So if nobody else has something specific about the Mandalorian, I wanted to talk a little bit about hip hop.
Yes, and it's so funny you say hip hop. Like, I think more R&B, because people will be like, East Coast family ain't hip hop. Okay. But what do you want to know? Like how I met Michael, or how it?
Yes. I mean, I know there's a storied history there. I don't know if everybody's aware. People watching might not know. So if you could kind of just start it, whatever feels like the beginning, and walk us through.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy story. I was 12 years old, 1983. I was a huge fan of New Edition, as just about every Black girl my age, and black boy, a lot of Black boys my age were. And so I was a huge fan of New Edition throughout, middle school and high school. And then when I went to college is when Michael Bivins discovered, he moved into to managing, and he met Boyz II Men. And I was in my sophomore year at college, and he was on BET's Video Soul with Boyz II Men. And he said he was going to be a manager. He's going to manage artists. And I was like, he's going to manage me. I told one of my best friends, Nikki, I was like, he's going to manage me. She was like, okay. Because also I'm in Akron, Ohio. How am I going to meet Michael Bivins? How am I going to sing for Michael Bivins? But maybe 6 months later, he came to Akron and did a show in Akron. And I went to the show, found out from one of their bodyguards, Jeff Dyson, who I owe so much for my entire life. He told me where they were staying. He was like, I can't let you backstage, but they stand at this hotel. If you want to go and wait for him and sing for him, God bless. And that's what I did. I went and stayed in this hotel lobby till like 3:00 in the morning. He came in. I followed him through the hotel, begged him to let me sing for him. He finally said yes. And the next day he called me and said, I want to manage you.
Oh,
crazy. And then I was in the East Coast family. He brought us out to LA the summer of my sophomore year. And we were kicking it around, but we weren't recording yet. And I'm like, I gotta go back home and get this degree. So I went back, finished my degree, moved to LA, and the music business. Y'all don't know, I'm prudish. I'm Prudy McPrude is the way I joke. And so always covered. If I ever was a singer, I'd want to sing about positive things, kind of like an India Arie type singer, which she didn't exist yet. Yeah. And so the music industry was like, throw me against the wall, give it to me. And I just can't do it. And so I decided to become an assistant, and then I ended up working as Michael Bivins' assistant at Motown. So I went from a fan to being managed by him and doing a song and a video to now I work for him. So I did that for maybe a year. And then I left that because my mother said some great advice to me. She said, Yvette, you can stay with Michael and make his dreams come true, or you can leave and make your dreams come true. Ooh. And so I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. So I quit that job and then started temping at different places, started to did a play, toured with a play for a while. And then acting took off. And then 10 years into my acting career, 15 years into my acting career, they're doing the New Edition movie and I'm playing Michael's mom. So I went from being a fan to being managed by him to working for him to playing his mother in a mini series and won an Image Award for it. Our show, the movie won an Image Award, and I got an Image Award. Nice. So that's the full circle moment. But I want to share one other thing about the story. There was this thing called the Disney Fellowship, Disney Co-op, and it was where college students could go to Disney World and work at Disney for a semester. It was coveted. I am a Disney person. We now know that for sure. But even then, I'm like, Disney that's my people. And so I went through the entire interview process. And when we got to the final end of it, I was not chosen. And I was devastated because in my mind, the Disney Fellowship, the Disney Co-op was the thing that was going to get me to the next thing that I was supposed to do in life. I was devastated that something I wanted did not happen. Something that I felt I deserved and had earned did not happen. When did I meet Michael? The time that I would have been down in Florida. So God closed a door that I thought was important and necessary to give me what the rest of my life was supposed to be.
See, you never know. You know what I'm saying? Message.
You actually do know. The things that devastate you that seem like they are the end are actually the what? The beginning.
Brief story to just kind of jump onto that narrative. I used to belong to this group that was a nerd group, but it wasn't a centric group like us. All right. And I kind of based my nerddom on my affiliation with them until that wasn't the case. And I woke up one morning and learned that I was not casted in our usual con tour. And I lost my mind. I was like, yo, what am I going to do now? I hit him up. I hit the dude up. Was like, yo, did I do something wrong? Blah, blah, blah. Didn't hear anything back. Was devastated. But you know what I did as a result of not having that access? I contacted my best friend down here. I contacted my homegirl, Yaz. I said, yo, we're going to do our own thing. Not too shortly after that, Tyrone joins. My homegirl Steph comes out the blue. Nolly surfaces out of the skies. And here we are. You know what I'm saying? So it was through what a pivotal
something dying.
Yeah.
That's the thing, guys. It's often the things that we hold on to too tight. The things that we think are, and it might line up with what the Bible says about you don't have idols. We turn things into idols. It becomes this big thing. I have to stay here. I have to do this. God's like, no, you don't. I watch me do a new thing for you. That's better. And you don't even see it coming.
Did you know you'd be giving a sermon this resurrection?
I'm always
He's resurrecting us. That's just say that.
I'm always available. If you need me, I'm there. I'm always available.
All right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow at 11:00. Right there. I wanted to ask you if I could, and we can, and guys, don't let me dominate, please. As you know, this is an open, shallow pool.
Actually, before we move on, just because we brought up R&B, I love that era of R&B. I listen to it every day. I'm like, that is my jam all the time. Outside of New Edition, who are some of the people that you're listening to? Some of the groups, some of the
right now or back artists. Then? Right now?
Then, yeah, or just like you might still be listening to people right now, but
back then it was like Shalimar and Cameo.
Yes.
The Jacksons. I give any Jackson. Just give me a Jackson. I just love the Jacksons.
Come on, any Tito.
Yeah. Even Tito. I love, yes, even LaToya. Hearts don't lie. Hearts don't lie. Rebe Centipede. I love every Jackson. Give me all of it. Y'all know I love Janet. Y'all know I love Janet. So that goes up there. We know about so the Jacksons, DeBarge, back when I was a kid. I love DeBarge. But now I love anything Bruno Mars does. I'm like, yes,
yes.
Yes. And he and Anderson and that whole Silk Sonic thing was
you know who he like gives me the feels of. I am such an old soul. I know I'm the youngest person on the panel, but I am such an old soul. My mom even calls me an old soul. It's actually kind of funny because she's a little older than you, and she's like you're like older than me. Yes, the Temptations are my favorite.
Oh, Temptations, forget it.
I actually at 12 years old, my mom took me to Universal Studios, and 2 of them were still alive, and I got to see them live before they passed away. And I was the only kid in the audience, and I knew all the songs. And my mom, I didn't notice this because I was just like so in the moment of just like, oh my God. And like all these people were just watching me, and I'm just like singing along and jamming, and they're just like looking at me like this.
What's your favorite Temptation song, Yaz?
My favorite I have so many. It's like I literally made Austin like the night of MegaCon. I made Austin watch it because it was on the television at our hotel. And you know what he said to me? It was like right when the part where like Otis finds out his mom passes away. Yeah. He's like, "Babe, why are you watching this sad ass movie?" And I'm like, "This is a classic. What is classic?" I was like, "Please go to sleep and stop talking to me, please." I was like, "Dude, no." And I was like, this is where shit gets real. You gotta sit down. Like, I'm such an R&B girl. It's not. I literally, that is my playlist is R&B. Like when I'm in my office making t-shirts and stuff, it's R&B or reggae all day.
Yeah, it's funny. I just had a moment like that because my mother's favorite was Dinah. My mother loved the Supremes, and my dad loves the Temptations to this day. And so Diana Ross was I went to an Oscar viewing party, and Diana Ross was the performance. My Instagram live was lit. I was as close as I am to my computer, lost my freaking mind. So I totally, I get it.
I got to see her live a few years back. Amazing. And I was not expecting that many costume changes.
Oh,
she will change.
Yes, you will. Diva. Yes, the diva. D and diva.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To answer your question though, if I can, I think My Girl and September are my 2 favorite ones.
Oh, okay.
They're just like September. I will literally like you have no idea. I will act that song out so smooth and
go ahead, act it on that
right now.
Right now.
I mean,
play the song. Let's hear it.
Nah, man. You ain't gonna get us canceled on this show. You gotta go.
No, I won't. I'll do a video for you. Like in the private, I'll send it to you guys. But you gotta hit me up and make sure I'm okay about my angles before we post it. But that's my jam, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm such an old soul. Like you will definitely hear My Girl and September and all of their songs just straight. I will be singing it loud, and my mom just sits there and smiles at me like I did that.
Is that Temptation? Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yvette.
Yes.
I know you about to. I don't know, but I was about to say this, Yvette. Like as far as soulful singers of today, what's on that playlist right now? As far and we'll go female artists because I know it's easy to pick male artists because there's not a lot.
Jasmine Sullivan. She's just beyond.
Yes.
You know who else though is really good? Coco Jones.
Coco Jones. I see you. I see you is on my playlist, and I cannot get enough of it.
She is so good, and she's been good. I remember I did an episode of Shake It Up, Zendaya's old show years ago. Zendaya was probably 10 years ago. I did it, and there was this song that they danced to. They were dressed in like Egyptian gear, and it was like Mr. DJ play the song or something, and it was Coco Jones. Like I went to find out who is this baby singing to mess out the song, and that was a little baby Coco Jones. She's maybe 13 years old. She has been singing like a freaking beast.
If you guys have not heard her, she has a song called "I See You" that is phenomenal.
And an amazing actress too, and beautiful, and just brown skin and delicious. She's amazing. Coco Jones is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anybody else on your list?
I still love, and this is older, it's not younger. I love Layla Hathaway. I think she's so gifted. Rasan Patterson is in the Layla generation. He's beyond.
Nobody even knew about it.
He's sick. You can go get any old Rasan Patterson album and get your entire life. The foolishness he can do with his voice is I can't.
I think Andrea Day is one of my favorites.
She's great too. There's so many. And the thing that breaks my heart of the new generation is that we've become a producer. It's become a producer medium, and not in the way that it was when we had Babyface and Jam and Lewis. Babyface and Jam and Lewis and even Prince would produce a song for someone, but the song still sounded like that person.
Yeah.
Right? It was just they had the goodness. You listen to a Janet Jackson Jam and Lewis song and a New Edition Jam and Lewis song. You may not even know that Jam and Lewis did both of the songs. Just know that they're amazing.
Right.
Producers now put their sound on the artist. So when you listen to the radio, everybody sounds the same.
Yep.
I need my Gladys Knight to be different from my Whitney Houston, to be different from my Patti LaBelle, to be different from my Aretha Franklin. And that's not what we have now. It's just everybody. So the ones that break through are the ones like a Jasmine or a Coco that have a sound, a Bruno Mars. Their sound, their tone. Tone is, I remember one time Luther Vandross was on Arsenio Hall show, and Arsenio asked him who his favorite artist was. And Luther Vandross said Diana Ross. And I was like, Diana Ross? And he said, yeah, because you think that being a good singer is about tricks. They said a good singer is about your vocal tone. And he said Diana Ross's tone, second to none. Luther Vandross's tone, he got tricks, but his tone, right? And so what's happening with music now is that we are losing the vocal resonance of a different voice. Even somebody like a Macy Gray, she sounded like nobody.
Right.
You may not like the way she sang, but she came on the radio and you knew it was her.
That's true.
You know,
real quick. So as Luther Vandross is this artist.
Don't play my girl. Don't do it like that.
Hey Vince. Let's just Saturday. I know who the Luther Vandross is.
I knew he was about to get cussed out. That's hilarious.
I didn't know.
Don't do the baby like that.
It's funny you mentioned that, and even as I'm on the dark side of the moon right now, forgive me while my lighting is having a problem. It's interesting because you talk about Terry and Jimmy Jam Lewis, Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jams, and it was originally them who was working with Prince, and we know that Lizzo actually worked with Prince pretty heavily, and for Lizzo to be in our sphere, like one thing that we pick up on is cues. And Lizzo in this episode, kind of bring it to blurred space a little bit, if you don't mind, Tyrone. Is Lizzo did admit in this most recent episode that she was so overjoyed for being picked and being casted as the Duchess because she was basically raised on Star Wars. It was like a rite of passage. She, like my father, she and I have something in common. We were indoctrinated into the geek culture, and what's one thing that we really like about each other. So I'm wondering, did that happen with you, with your blurredom? Did you have an upbringing that brought about the stuff that you like, or did you just venture out on your own and love Star Wars comics and things of that sort just because it was just your own independent endeavor?
I just ventured out on my own because I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and me and my brother were latchkey kids. And so my mother would leave in the morning. We'd have keys wrapped around our neck, and we'd have to get ourselves to school and get ourselves home, and then find a way to entertain ourselves when we got home. And so even though we didn't have a lot, my mother believed in the arts, and she made sure that we had a comic book. Or if a movie came out, she would save to make sure we could go see it. My mother took me and my brother to see A New Hope in the theater. I was 6 years old. And so it's not so much because my mother wasn't a blur. It's not like she had a comic book collection but she just heard her baby saying, we gotta go see it. And she was like, okay, let me figure out how to get my baby to see this movie. And so it was really just it was like the mothership calling me home. I've just always loved Star Wars for sure is like my number one. And I like Star Trek too, but Star Wars is just everything because it's the battle between good and evil. Like as soon as you see A New Hope, you just look and know who the good guys are, who the bad guys are. And the Sith never called to me. Jedi has always called to me my entire life. Before I even knew what a Jedi was, it called to me. Yeah.
You bring me to what I'd like to call our first game for the day. If it's okay, before we move on, because there's plenty more to discuss. Believe it or not, we're only a few minutes into this. And we're not going to keep you all day, but we'll definitely have you as long as you have us. So we wanted to play a game with you, if it's okay. So everybody, you got your paper?
Oh God, y'all. Oh God.
You ready? Everybody got your paper? Everybody got it?
We got it.
Everybody ready?
We're good.
You good? Okay. So
toilet paper, right?
No.
Yes, please. For your nose.
Okay.
So in this game, we wanted to get to know you a little better. Now, sometimes I had the luxury of being able to set this stuff up in advance. So if we're blessed to see you again, which we hope is still
Absolutely.
a thing,
Absolutely.
we consider you one of us now. You a member of the New Blurred Order as far as
Absolutely.
ain't nothing you can do about it. It's already official. But we just want to ask and see if we knew you as well as we think we might.
Okay.
All right. So I would like you to answer this question, but keep it in your head.
Okay.
Keep it in your head, or you can even write it down if you want. I didn't ask you to do this in advance, so I don't expect you to be prepared. But keep the answer in your head, but just don't change it because you like one of us more than the other. And
I won't change it. I'm gonna write it down.
All right, perfect. Okay, cool. So, since we're in the field of Star Wars, as you know, as of this very moment, there are legitimately 10 Star Wars theatrical productions, ranging from A New Hope all the way to Revenge of the Sith. To The Last Skywalker. All right. Rise of Skywalker. If you include Rogue One as well, which we consider 3.5.
You should.
All right, as you definitely should. So we would like to know, what are your top 3 Star Wars movies? And we'll start with the third, go to the second, and then we'll end on the first. I am going to write down what I think are your top 3.
I need people not to judge me.
I like this. You know what? I tell you what. Let's make it simpler. Let's just say your favorite. How about that? Let's get.
That's easy. Everybody's gonna know this. Then it's easy. But go ahead.
Okay.
Let's do this. Let's do my favorite, and then let's do one that you think. Do what you think my favorite is, and then do the second one you think I also love.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Do
so
two.
The first one that we select will be, which is Yvette Nicole Brown's favorite. Yvette Nicole Brown, member of the New Blurred Order, by the way. So just adding that to her list of accomplishments. I'm sorry. Let me stop. And then we'll go with the runner-up of what that may be. So starting with the first one, I will give you guys the 30-second Jeopardy. All righty. So, does anybody want to volunteer to go first?
I'll go first.
Go. All right. Yes. Oh, yeah. I said it first.
Sorry, Steph.
Yes. Hold it on up. What
you want me to hold it up? Like it's like
hold
a thing?
Hold it up. I don't want you cheating.
You don't see I'm lying? I'm lying?
I don't think I believe you. Come on. Hold up that font.
Okay.
Put it up.
So, I picked Phantom Menace as the first one.
I'm gonna say I don't even know Yvette like that, but Yvette, Phantom Menace,
and then well, she can't answer.
I can't answer.
And then my second one would be.
Whoa!
You said you gave us a 2-part question.
We're guessing twice. The first one the first time, and then we'll do one last round. All right. So I'm gonna assume, Yvette, is that a yay or a nay?
Oh wait, you gotta all go. You wrote it. Everybody has to go.
Oh my bad. Okay.
I'm bad Ty. I'll cheat.
I'm gonna hold up mine. This is mine for her fave. Just go ahead and hold them all up. Hold them all up. I think this was her favorite.
Well, that's what I had.
Yep. Hold on, man.
He crossed out New Hope.
No, because that's what I had put first.
That's the one with Leia. Stephanie, stop it.
Okay, so I got, how many New Hopes do we have? We have one, two.
I got Return of the Jedi for the first
3.
My absolute favorite is A New Hope.
Oh,
okay. So the first
you guys didn't get that from what I just said.
I
Okay, so what's the second one you think?
Well, I mean, I was going to say New Hope, but she said Tyrone is saying Return of the Jedi.
I said Attack of the Clones.
And then she says the one with John Boyega. That's going to be
this is what it is. This is the truth. Okay. A New Hope is number 1 because it's just the first time the world was created. And the second is kind of a twofer. I really do love the Phantom Menace because I know people hate it. I know they hate it. I love it because I like to see how it all began. But I love Attack of the Clones because I love the love story and I'm in. I'm a girl. I'm in. So it doesn't mean that I do love Return of the Jedi too. Return of the Jedi will probably be 4th on the list.
Wow.
But actually, Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are so intertwined in my mind. Like when I watch them, I watch the two of them together. So yeah, is that what you said?
What did I say? What did I say? In order?
Yeah, you got it. Yes, gets me. Yes,
in order.
All right. Yes. What's your Cash App? Yes, I'll shoot it over to you.
And I also love The Force Awakens too. That would be like.
I'm just listen. She gave us key details. She is a Jedi true at heart. She all about good versus evil. Come on, she gave it to us. What movies are all about good versus evil? In the sequel, we get to learn how Anakin becomes who he is as a Jedi, so we can learn how he became the Sith.
That's right. There it is. She gets me. And the whole time I was watching, I was rooting for Anakin to make better choices and different choices. So like, please, like, don't do this, But we needed to see him as the man so that he can even have the redemption arc as Darth Vader. Like, it's necessary. And so people that hate that movie, I don't know why they hate those movies. I don't get it.
I know why.
I know why too.
Why you say, Ty?
The special effects weren't great. There was a lot of stuff. The acting wasn't great.
It was the story. It wasn't about the acting.
It's so much bigger. It's so much bigger than your little nitpicky moments.
Yes, it was the story and how it all connected everything to like what it became and what it got.
Absolutely.
You are a woman after my own heart. Thank you.
I attribute, and I've said this on here before, I attribute the hatred of the prequels entirely to the hatred of Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, but you know what? Let me say this. Ahmed is my friend. Ahmed he has his redemption arc now, which I love.
Oh my God.
I could not be happier for him
100%.
that he has now had his proper place in the Star Wars canon, because
100%.
Without him, we don't have Grogu.
Exactly.
We don't know Grogu. We don't know Grogu. And I think Grogu has, in the same way I felt like Ted Lasso saved a lot of our hearts during the pandemic, that doggone Grogu is the reason that some of us are still okay and believing in goodness. So
yes.
Mr. Best, hats off to you.
Yes, yeah. we took a half of an episode to just
I bet he needed it. He deserved it. He deserved it.
And I mean, and the fact that and the fact that he was originally just so, I mean, his arc is so like underplayed. The fact that he was driven to almost suicide
because of hateful
trolls. Yep. And this is like pre-internet suicide, like troll. Like you had, like, it's not just wake up, check your phone.
But you understand that the weight of that fall though. Like you get the call. You're a nerd.
Yes.
You get the call. You shoot for months, years on this. You're thinking this is your moment. Again, going back to the whole idea of sometimes what you think is the thing is not the thing, right? So he thinks it's his moment and it ends up being the thing that almost takes him out. But then this comes where the celebration and the love that he should have gotten all those years ago is back.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's, I mean, and his story is now canon. You know what I'm saying? Now the only reason Baby Yoda Grogu is safe from Order 66, where they basically kill all Jedi, is because this black Jedi with dual wielding lightsabers, one of which he picked up from the elevator, was like, "Yo, nah, not today, Satan. Not my Grogu."
I just got chills. Yeah.
Can we just talk about how like there's only 2 that we know of black Jedis, and he is one of them, other than Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep.
Well,
are there more that you know of?
From that period.
That's what I'm saying. From the beginning of Star Wars, those are the like if you think about it, they are the pivotal. We just didn't know that he was an actual Jedi because, like you said, he was Jar Jar Binks, and like as comedic as his character was, he was so important and integral, and we all loved him like that. He was. I don't know how like the trolls got him to not understand.
I don't know why people hated Jar Jar either. I'm sorry. I know that hit me in the Twitter. I don't care. I like Jar Jar. I don't understand it. The universe is, the galaxy is full of just weird little creatures that talk weird and walk weird and look weird. But you gonna pick on the black man? This is horrible. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I do want to real quick shout out the woman from Obi-Wan. Because she was in the Jedi Academy at this point. She was a youngling. She wasn't an Inquisitor.
Tyrone, you beat me to it.
Yes, she was, but yes, but I think
we didn't know that.
We didn't know that also, but I think we're speaking in the term of the heroic Jedis. You know what I mean? Like I can't. Although I love her, and she caught every. I don't know. Now we're gonna talk about every.
Yeah, she got a lot of hate too. Undo.
But we know why.
We know. Of course, we know why. Of course, we know why. And she played the shit out of that.
Yeah, she was right too.
Did you like her character arc though? How she like started out bad and then like she turned it over.
Did she start out bad though?
I did.
Well, she started out. We knew
that we thought of. She was painted to be the villain for sure.
Yeah, but she was undercover.
Yeah,
we didn't know that.
I'm saying, but this leads me. First of all, I gush on the inside at your Star Wars knowledge. It melts me.
Man, so it's hard I'm new to this. Not new to this. Come on.
I mean, my bad. You know what I'm saying? We peeling away layer per layer. You know what I'm saying? But the fact, I'm not gonna lie. Like I originally, my favorites are in the original the original three, because of the fact that I attach them to my youth. And I think a lot of folks do that. You know what I'm saying? Our favorites will typically be a trip. So the fact that you pick stuff from like the turn of the century, I think is admirable.
Yeah, because go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
I think the reason I do that is because I love the world of Star Wars. I think some people are purists. It's the first three or it's the last three. If you love the world, love the world. Yep. Please. Like enjoy the world. And I wanted to say Moses. I wanted to say her name. My brain had a glitch.
Yeah.
But Moses was in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and she's brilliant. And she's brilliant in everything. She's an amazing actress.
Yeah, listen. Pull up braids. Hello, Jedi with the braids. I'm with it. But oftentimes I like to remind people that when you crap on the prequels, you're crapping on Darth Maul.
Yep.
A dual wielding lightsaber. Mm-hmm. You're crapping on Naboo.
Yep.
You're crapping on Qui-Gon.
Yeah. You are now you go. Come on.
You're crapping on the Obi-Wan origin story for lack better of. You know what I'm saying? And you're crapping on the Mace Windu that we would not have gotten if Samuel L. Jackson didn't say, "Put me in the motherfucking movie, motherfucker." Just give me a purple lightsaber, and I'm gonna work. And if it wasn't for listen, the two black Jedis that were in the Jedi stream that were not undercover, we see Reaper, but this just talk straight up Jedi Council is. All right, the two black Jedis had pivotal moments. All right, had it not been for Keller and Beck, then Grogu would not have been in the Mandalorian. And had it not been for Mace Windu, who almost killed Palpatine, then we never would have had Anakin, who had to decide in that moment: are you going to go with the Sith, or are you going to go with the Jedi? And I want to give Anakin his due, because even though he did go with the Sith, it wasn't out of any type of malice. It was because he was told by Palpatine, "If you go with me, I can help you keep your woman." You know what I'm saying? So it was all about love at the end of the day. And it wasn't his fault that he poked up on old boy from Pulp Fiction. He was like, "Listen, I will strike down on thee with the," you know what I'm saying? And I will say this in closing to my TED Talk. We don't know if Mace Windu has perished.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Listen, and he's getting older too, and he's aging just rightly. So if we do have a cameo, it will be so crisp because we'll wonder where he was.
You know what else I want to say? If we didn't have the prequels, we wouldn't have seen Yoda for the first time with his lightsaber.
Oh, pull up. Pull up.
And that actually creates everything that's happening with Grogu, because we've already seen how fast they can move.
Oh yeah.
And now whenever Grogu does his little flip.
Well, I mean, we also saw that with Lizzo and her little fish, though. He was
absolutely. He was like, "Oh, we getting food."
But I think anybody who's being serious is like, they know that the prequels did have the best lightsaber battles by far.
That's true.
Hayden Christensen and
Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. Can we get a Darth Maul origin story? Like, I want to know more about this man. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things about his story, like, that's not told, and just like, where are they from? Like Dathomir. It's
Dathomir,
I want to learn more about that place. You know what I'm saying? And like, where do these people come from? Why they're so badass? Like
they get I will say they get some love in Clone Wars. Like but they're just like they're in there in the 9 seasons of Clone Wars. It's kind of hard to find the episodes.
Okay.
And also
go back and rewatch.
And also the game Jedi Fallen Order. You get to go to Dathomir and learn about like the history of that planet and stuff.
And there's different types. They're not all humanoids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
that's what I'm curious about. There's so many things I have questions about. I need the answer in Star Wars.
It's so vast, and they keep building it out, and it's just amazing.
Yvette, what's your thoughts on the? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ty. Please.
I was just going to say, what's your thoughts on the upcoming Ahsoka series? Like, what do you think?
I'm excited. I'm sorry, my dog is having a moment. I just watched. I got up at 5 a.m. to watch a Star Wars Celebration.
Yes.
And listen, I felt some kind of way that I wasn't there taking part again because last year I got to post the whole thing. So I was gonna do it without me. But it was in the UK. I got it. But I can't wait. I think Rosario Dawson is perfect. And I know Ashley Eckstein, who did the voice, and she's, I imagine that it's kind of like, dang, I did the voice all these years. But Rosario Dawson so perfectly embodied who this character is. And I love her popping up on I can't remember if it was Boba Fett or Mandalorian. Boba Fett. And I love the crossover. Everybody just kind of being everywhere. You don't know who you're gonna see. I love it.
Yes.
I felt like even though she had done the Mandalorian last season, I felt like on Boba Fett we got to really see more of her spirit and how Rosario was gonna play her. And I think it's just genius. I think it's genius. And I can't wait to see the show.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If you ever got the chance to have a role, what would it be, and what would it be? Would it be a series or a movie you would like to play in Star Wars?
Oh, I'm not greedy. Whatever they gave me. I mean, listen, I've been a Lego in Star Wars. Whatever.
Lego's a big thing too already.
Listen, I feel like they can bring Lieutenant Valeria into something. I mean, she exists. It's canon. I know it's Lego Star Wars canon, but she exists. Yeah. And she knew in Star Wars, the holiday special we did, Summer Vacation, she knew Obi-Wan at the era that he is in the Obi-Wan series. So if they come back and do that again.
Hey.
You hear that, Disney?
Hello, Dave Filoni.
Real quick.
Yeah. Y'all don't think I wasn't looking at Lizzo like, really? Y'all couldn't. Happy for her. Don't understand.
It's like I've been right here. This
whole like, I got braids. I can do a headdress. What's up? Holla at your girl. But I don't want to be greedy. Like I'm so happy for her, and I know that it means a lot to her. So I'm happy for her. But I did raise an eyebrow. Like I want to be on the Mandalorian.
All right, this is something we'll learn about your personality a little bit. What's your lightsaber color?
Yes.
It's green. Of course, it's green.
I knew it was green. I knew it was green.
And I went and did the whole thing. And I gotta post the video. I cried like a baby when I made my lightsaber.
Really?
At Galaxy
video.
The whole adventure of it, because I don't want to give away who people that might go and do the experience. You have to, if you love Star Wars, you have to save your coins and go do the experience. There's a moment at the end of the experience that I really felt like I was in the moment. I felt like I was literally there getting my lightsaber. So, and then the color I chose, and in the moment, it was just,
that place is amazing. I went there and spent all day in that one small area of the park because I was just enthralled.
Did you get the Ronto wrap? You ain't lived, you got that Ronto wrap, man. If you eat meat, get that Ronto wrap.
See, I didn't, and I'll have to get the next time. But I did. But we did go to the cantina. We made reservations at the cantina. Yeah. We hung out in there. That was next level.
Yeah. Now we live. Yaz, Nolly, and I are still up on the I-4 corridor. We still live in the Orlando area.
If you come back, let us know in advance so that we can.
Please. I'm gonna be there for Janet's concert, but I'm only there for a day. Like I get there, the red eye, see the show, fly out the next morning, so I don't have time to.
No worries.
Well, next time you have time and you're in Orlando, Florida, please let us know so that we can all nerd out together.
Absolutely, y'all be safe in Florida because y'all governor is crazy. Lord, hate black people.
I think you mispronounced emperor.
He is Palpatine. That dude is Palpatine, man. That is
people in other states are like, he needs to be president. I'm like, okay.
Like all these
people in this state are saying it.
All these buildings.
Other states are saying it too.
He passed a bill to end tenure if the teacher the professor doesn't teach the way he wants. He wants to get rid of Black Greek letter organizations, Black or anything that is Jewish, Black, gay, gone.
Yeah,
woke.
It's still 999. Pick it upside down. It's still 666. I know that man is evil.
Yeah, that's a whole other level. But hey, but we all know that the empire ends up losing in the end. You know what I'm saying? So all we need is for our Jedis to come to light. But we touched on the subject earlier, and by the way, I'm wondering because there's no Galaxy's Edge in the Disney in Disneyland. In Disneyland, there is.
Yes, there is a beautiful one in Disneyland.
Okay,
oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we in California in my adult life. So.
And I kind of want to go to the Florida one, Disney World, to see how it's different. Maybe I can find out online. Okay, see, ours is expansive. Like it's amazing.
Ours is
that's why let us know.
Florida residents, it's not really a deal.
Okay. In Florida, it's one part of the Hollywood Studios. It's like a smaller part of it. But
oh no, it's huge. At Disneyland, it's huge.
Oh, okay. Wow. So, but you touched on something as we were talking about the limited world of which Black Jedis are so heralded because of the positions that they've held. They literally own pivotal moments in the Star Wars universe. Mace being the one that made the Empire. If it wasn't for Mace, he would still have his head uncovered. You know what I'm saying? Like he was the reason why he you not. You know what I'm saying? That whole little series. All right, I'm there now. But that happens in a world where that was socially accepted, mainly because I believe Samuel L. Jackson had already been known and didn't have to deal with the whole, you trying to change the color and race swap. Whereas nowadays we have women and men that are facing all of these different backlashes just because of the roles that they play. One of which, if I'm not mistaken, you had the pleasure of even meeting on a set. And I'm just wondering, like, is this something that will pass? Are we at a pivotal moment in time, as you believe? Or do you think this is just as American as apple pie? And as long as we are in the United States, which ultimately was not a country that was made for us, by us, it's one that we are forced to be in and have since assimilated. Is this something that we have to deal with? Or are we going to have to basically all ship ourselves over to Ghana and say, listen, let's recreate our own selves in a manner that we're accepted in all forms of fantasy, fiction, and anything, instead of having to try to forge our way into things that we're not accepted?
Well, this country was built on systemic racism and white supremacy. So I know some people thought that we were post-racial after President Obama was elected. I knew we weren't, because I've been Black in America long enough to know that racists don't change. Right. They don't. The only thing that was different is that they weren't empowered. And then that the orange imp came in and made all the hateful things that they really think about us, brought it back to the forefront. So no, I don't think it's ever going away. I don't think no matter who's elected, there's still going to be a segment of the society. I hope that it'll be a smaller segment of society that thinks that we're animals and 2/3 of a creature. The idea that there's backlash because a Black woman is a mermaid.
Right.
Don't exist. Right. A Black woman is Tinkerbell. Shout out to Yara.
Or no.
Fairies don't exist.
Right.
So I don't understand. Even when we go back to Star Wars and what John Boyega went through, we're watching a galaxy full of all types of creatures, but we can't have a Black woman.
Right.
We can have it. I saw somebody on the Mandalorian. She had little tentacles coming from her cheek. She went to the prince. She went to her tentacles.
I remember that. Yes, that was weird.
With the tentacles, not with her hands, with the tentacles. It was disgusting. We can have her, but not a Black man.
It was disgusting. Oh my God.
It was disgusting. I said, why are they moving? Why are they gently caressing its face? I took me right out of it. I couldn't even enjoy the scene. It took me right out. But that's okay. We don't have any questions about that. There she is. Oh, no upper lip. No upper lip. The bottom tooth is having its moment. It's all live for her. Okay. We can have her, but we can't have a Black mermaid,
right?
Or Black fairy, but we can have her
in that water too, and then she just was dry.
Yeah,
a mess. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna change. I think it's what it is, but still we rise. Ain't Halle Bailey's still gonna be Ariel? no matter how mad they get. She got a Barbie doll.
Yeah, it's one thing, and I can imagine it feels good working with Disney because Disney seems to have chosen a side. They seem to be like, okay, we're going to go in, like, we are moving forward, we're progressing, we're growing with the country, that kind of thing. Whereas there seem to be other, other studios and stuff who are not taking those same steps. I mean, we saw Batgirl get canceled completely.
Yeah,
we're seeing a lot of
we're
seeing a lot of like Netflix was getting rid of their diversity hires and things like that were coming after the last couple of years of uprisings and of protests. And no, I'm glad that
we knew that was lip service, so didn't we? The little black squares.
Nobody
was deceived by the little black squares.
Yeah, the little pacifications, just to keep people quiet and stuff like that, without any real change. It's frustrating, but
and meanwhile, white women benefited from the diversity and inclusion programs more than anyone.
Mm-hmm. Speak on it. Affirmative action has been on record more statistically helpful for
white women,
Caucasian women,
absolutely,
than it has been for black men.
Absolutely. Women, but tell us more about how we just take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. So, but
he said,
I saw that. Sometimes you gotta stop for a second, or you'll miss it. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, Seth.
I don't want to throw you off. I have a different thing I want to ask about Ben. So if it's on the same.
Please. Oh yeah, okay. Did you get your last? Ty, did you get your last thing in? That you want to say? I kind of talked over you at the
end. We're. Okay. I'm good. Yeah, thank you.
So Yvette, I love how vocal you are about anti-racism. Mm-hmm. And it's just, the melanin is not cracking. It's giving Benjamin Button. I think it's really fun and interesting how you do such great work on the Talking Dead. And yet here you are on Easter weekend talking life into all of us. I would love to see you have a show. I want the Yvette Nicole Brown. That's what Stephanie's rooting for. But I would love to have a manifestation moment to touch and agree and just hear whatever you are comfortable sharing with. Realistic, coming soon, or just like maybe it's a dream in your heart that you're like, God, I don't know how this is happening, but I see that this is what's next for me. I would love to hear anything you want to share that we can agree with and support that is maybe an unrealized dream or something that you're looking forward to happening in the future.
Well, I am currently living one of my unrealized dreams, and that's being on Act Your Age, the great sitcom that's on Bounce. Yes. We, working with Kim and Tisha and Mariah and Nathan with our great showrunner, Allison Faust, has been a dream come true. And I've always wanted to, I love the Golden Girls when I was growing up, and the idea that I get to be on a Black version of it. Not trust me, that's not what Allison was trying to do, but it's just, it harkens back to the idea of women of a certain age living their best life together. And going through relationship problems and problems with the kids and whatever, but doing it in style, and they're women of means and all of that. And so it's a sitcom, which is, besides voiceover, is my favorite genre of the acting business. So that is a dream come true for me. I'm so grateful. We did 8 episodes. This is going to air next week, but our last episode aired last Saturday of the first 8. We're going to take a little break. We're going to come back, and there's going to be 8 more hilarious episodes starting in June. And then Bounce is going to do a little thing in between where we're going to do like a pop-up video type version of the episodes you've already seen. So even if you've seen the show, gather your girls or your guys or your friends and watch again and learn some behind the scenes stuff of the show. And I'm sharing that. I don't know if that's even been told yet that that's happening. And I want to say this one other thing about Bounce, because I know some people have had a problem finding Bounce. Bounce is over-the-air television. It literally is floating above us right now. If you just get an antenna and rescan your television stations, it will be there waiting for you. So you don't have to have a cord. There is apps and stuff you can watch. We have Brown Sugar app. You can watch episodes the next day. But if you just want to just go get $20, find $20, borrow $20. Go to Walmart or Best Buy or Amazon, wherever, and just order a antenna that works for your television, and you can rescan, and Bounce will be there. And it's got a lot of great shows, But your other thing about what I would like to do, I know this may sound strange. I'm not very ambitious. Like, I don't do 5-year lists, and I don't have I hope one day. I literally go where God tells me to go. I feel like, and I've joked about this in other interviews, I've Forrest Gumped my way through this entire experience. And everything I get to do, it's literally like, what am I doing here? And other people are like, what is she doing there? So if I ever do end up with a talk show of some kind, it will be a Forrest Gump way in. It won't be because I have a vision board with me on a couch and a mug with my name on it. I don't dream like that. And I don't have to, because the dreams God has for me have always been bigger than anything I could imagine anyway. So whatever I'm supposed to do, but again, the Bible also says, despise not small beginnings, right? And so my talk show is right now here with you. And this is enough, right? This portion, this delicious portion with you guys and whoever comes to StreamYard to watch this or wherever it's repurposed, that will be the people that we're supposed to hear what we all shared in here today. And if something I said resonates with them, I hope they grab it and put it in their pocket and revisit it when they need to. But it doesn't have to be my name in lights, Yvette. I could be on your platform and sharing with you guys, and I know that whoever's supposed to get it will get it. So, yeah.
Quick plug for the show, if you don't mind.
Act your
Oh, dang, my bad. I thought I had sound on that. All right,
that's okay. I had it.
Real quick, is it true that one of the founders of Bounce is a descendant of Martin Luther King Jr.?
Oh, yes, that's true. That's true. One of his sons. I don't know which one it is though. Forgive me. I think it might be MLK the fourth.
The third.
Okay. The third. Yes, because Martin's a junior. Yeah, it might be MLK the third. That was one of the original founders of Bounce. Yeah.
Could I do something incredibly shameless?
Yes.
For just 15 seconds, if it's okay.
Yes.
All right, come here.
Oh, who's that, your baby?
What up, Kiki? I already know.
Kiki, get in here, Kiki.
So, you are on a show that she loves and she watches religiously. So I just thought we'd give you an opportunity to say
we got body, Kiki.
Kiki.
Hello.
Hi, baby. Let me say, first of all, you wearing that bonnet, sis. I just took mine off. I just took mine off before I got in here. I sure did. Hi, honey. Hi, baby. What did you watch? Did you watch Drake and Josh?
I watched Community.
Community. Do you have any questions? What's your favorite episode?
Favorite episode? Probably the one where they would, what's his name again? The white man?
We just call him the white man. Go on, baby. We just call him the white man. Go on. What the white man do?
Jeff, I think.
Jeff. Yeah.
He threw the guys up into the air.
Remedial chaos theory.
Chaos theory.
Timeline where you were an alcoholic. I found that
timeline. Listen, Shirley's been an alcoholic in a couple of timelines.
Well, let me real quick while we're here, just let this segue into something else because my daughter and I recently we attended a con and we dressed up as a couple of characters that you might recognize. So tell me if these characters look familiar to you at all. Here is one of them. Boom.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. How cute is that?
We went to MegaCon and they dressed up.
Oh, that is so good. Are you loving the show? Isn't the show great?
Yes.
So good.
Yeah.
Well, baby girl, I got a secret for you. I'm going to be on that show. I play the president. I play President Brown. Yeah, I'm doing a voice on that show. It's coming up. I don't know when the episode is coming, but
that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm President Brown.
President Brown.
That's awesome.
President Brown.
That's so cool.
Well, look at that. Look at you breaking news.
That's actually one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was like, Moon Girl. I saw you boosting about, watching that on your page in February. And I was like, yes, I can't wait till this comes out. And then Vince and we went to a MegaCon and they dressed up as it. And it was just perfect. So you literally should have seen how many people would just stop and just be like, Moon Girl. It was
so good. That's some good cosplaying right there, honey. That's some good cosplaying.
Well, yeah, thanks for you want to say bye? All right, she's gonna go.
Bye, baby. Bye. Let me know if you need me to sign anything for you, okay? Okay, baby.
Cute. Thank you for that.
All right, so can I interject and ask some questions real quick?
Absolutely.
All right, so I know that you said that you're a big advocate of the show like Ted Lasso because of like the pandemic and just how it kind of just pulled everybody out of just like their feels and just, you know, not being able to, you know, just connect with other people, you know what I mean? And that, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little late to the Ted Lasso train, but I jumped on and Coach Roy is my man.
Danny Rojas.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I love Danny Rojas. Like he is, and now he's into he just got introduced into Marvel, and so did Coach Roy technically too. So it's just crazy, you know, that you're completely obsessed with that show and you use it, you know, as you know, just because I use it all the time. I just be like, football is life.
Absolutely. I'm obsessed. And again, that goes that the fandom, you guys, and you know this as blurs. When you love something a lot, it comes to you, it's drawn to you. Yes. Right. It becomes a part of your world. And I love Ted Lasso so much. I've now hosted, I don't know, 5 or 6 panels with them. I go to every premiere. I'm going to be hosting another thing with them soon, hopefully. You know, I love them. And they're and know this, and whoever's watching, good people. Like just loving, kind, wonderful, joyous, good people. Like you want all of them to win. You root for them.
Who is your favorite on the show?
Oh, come on. I love Keely. And I love Roy.
Yes.
And I love Ted, Rebecca. I mean, I love all of them. Like it's so hard to pick somebody. I thought Sarah Niles, who played the therapist last season, was so good. It's so hard to. You can't. It's so well written.
It is.
Coach Beard is a beast.
Coach Beard,
it's so well written. It's so hard to go. Oh, I like this one. You know, they're just all great.
I was so delighted that they actually do issues on the show and well too. Like they, you know, they mental health, they covered billionaires and whether or not those are good people, you know, like all those kinds of things. Right. But
wait, but you know why though? You know why though? They aren't, because somebody told me once that you can't become a billionaire and care about people at the same time.
Right.
At a certain point, you're going to have to choose more money for you, or I don't know, letting your company go union, or more money for you, or buying up 50,000 acres of farmland. And you can't. The ones that become billionaires always choose themselves.
I will make sure I stop at 999,000 million.
And Tyrone, I feel like I cut you off every time you speak, and I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I have no problem yielding at all, and I feel like the reason it happens is because, like, you know, we're on the same page, and you're just finishing a thought that I was about to finish. It sounds better coming from you anyway. So
no,
Tyrone.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay, so on the note that, like, you know, when you reach a certain level of just, you know, stature, I guess you can say, like, you know, you lose your, you know, I guess your senses, you know, to care about other things. You know, you're a big advocate, you know, with you know, your father and, you know, your Care Can't Wait campaign, you know, and I love that, because I am big on that. I'm my most of my career is in just health, you know what I'm saying? Mental health, physical health, you know, just helping people. So I can definitely, I guess, empathize with you on that subject, because most of my just upbringing was, you know, just helping patients that was dealing with dementia and just, you know, just a lot of just different things, you know, like their families and stuff like that. And, you know, like having that person that, you know, you can depend on is a really big thing. So I think that your level of stature that you've gotten to, and the fact that, like, you're not have changed who you are on the inside is, like, it's a beautiful thing. And I absolutely love it. And it's one of the reasons why I literally, you are one of my idols because of that, because, you know, you care so much, and you make sure, like you said, your assistant is with your dad right now, so we can have this interview. Like that level of care for me is out of this world. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that I see you, I appreciate you, and I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you. And since you mentioned it, I thank you for bringing it up. The initiative is called, the hashtag is Care Can't Wait. And it's caring across generations. If you go to Twitter at Caring Across Gen, so generation shortened. And it's me, Megan Thee Stallion, Bradley Cooper, Seth and Laura Miller Rogan, Richard Louis, the newsman. We're Brandy from P Valley. We're coming together to try to encourage more images of caregiving in television and film. And hopefully that will lead to the government giving more money to people. Like I can afford to ask my assistant to come over and stay with my dad if I have to go out of town or I have to do a poster, and I can take care of him with the money that I make. But there's some people who have a job that they can't take time off, and they can't be home and, you know, working there 6 or 8 or 12 hours a day. And so there needs to be some subsidies to help people, because we have an aging country. Yes. And we also have long COVID now. And there's a lot of people that are younger that are in need of care, and it can't wait. Care can't wait. So yeah, join us.
Oh, why are you gonna spotlight me on a long COVID? It hasn't. I might actually. I never tested positive the first time because, you know, I won't get. Let's not. I'm not gonna start ranting. I never tested positive the first time, so I don't know for sure if I have long COVID. But yeah, I've been dealing with symptoms for like nearly a month now. So it's been it's been, you know, I'm good. They haven't been anything like crazy. You know, just sometimes I'll just need some days where I'm just like resting, like just resting.
That's not good.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I don't like just resting.
Yeah, no, because I can see a difference in you too, because you're usually way more, you know, present. Like you're present, but I can tell that you're tired. You look tired.
Yeah, well, I agree with you there 100%. And it's funny because I was a couple of days ago, I was talking to a friend and they were like, Tyrone, are you sad or sick? And I was like, well, damn, everybody just knows me. Sick was the answer, by the way.
Yeah.
I have a few more. I mean, as much as I think we could definitely hold you hostage forever, I don't want to keep you. You got a father to care for. You may want to eat today. Who knows? I don't know if we eat every day. But I have a couple questions. Well, I don't know if these are direct questions or if it's more just curiosity. So this project, first of all, you, as I alluded to earlier, have worked in multiple cultures with regard to sitcoms. Mm-hmm. And I've seen you go, as my daughter alluded to, from a community which, you know, was arguably diverse, to projects like a Black Lady sketch show, to, of course, right now.
That's fired. Go on. Black Lady sketch show, yes.
All right. You see, I'm trying to walk through this carefully. Okay, all right. to, of course, as we talked about, Act Your Age. So I'm just wondering, you know, without, you know, with no disrespect intended to anybody, do you notice, is there a significant difference in the productions when you do work in these different arenas? Is it all just heart related, or is it possibly, you know, even just with the matter of the approach? You know, there's a difference between a writer who's writing with your skin in mind in the pen, than somebody who's writing and they're thinking this is what you would say, and so on and so forth. So is there any insight, any input, or anything you can provide?
I think the biggest difference is ego. I'm a writer, right? I would never think that I knew how to write a Jewish man who's 60. If I had a show that had a Jewish man in his 60s in the cast, I would hire a Jewish person, and I would at least have somebody in the room that was the age of the person. Of every character should be represented in age and in race and in gender. Because I don't know what the life of a 60-year-old Jewish man is. And it's hubris for me to declare that I do. And there's been so many shows that I've been on. I've been blessed to work for 20 some years in this business. I've done a lot of shows. I very rarely see a Black woman in these rooms. Okay. And we're very specific. We're not a monolith, but the way we move is very specific. And I've ended up in a lot of cases having to tell them, we don't do that. We don't say that. We don't wear that. We don't go there. There are certain things we just don't do. And I get pushback often because they believe that they're, you know, the myth of white supremacy. They know everything. They know everything and everybody. And you don't. And that's okay, but you don't. So the difference is working on Act Your Age with Allison Faust, who is a Black woman in her 50s, and I'm playing a Black woman in my 50s, and I'm also a Black woman in my 50s. I don't have to worry about nothing she tells me to say or do. Same with Tisha and Kim. We can go get the script, show up, and do it. Now we might have a question about what the motivation for this particular story arc is. But I feel safe that Allison is going to write a Black woman that I am proud to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the difference. It's going to work, not with just, I go into work and just exhale. Like, oh, here we are, guys, all together. I mean, it's just the same way I feel when this StreamYard opened up and I saw your little faces. Now I can work with anybody, and I will work with anybody. But there's a shorthand and a understanding. Same thing when I worked with Yvette Lee Bowser on Half and Half. Same thing when I worked with Mara Brock Akil when I did Girlfriends. There's just an understanding when a Black woman, and in the same way you should trust Black women when you vote. Black women in any position of power, you're gonna be all right. As long as she actually knows she's Black, because the Black woman over at NBC, she did with Tiffany Cross. Oh yeah, I'm still on it. What she did with Tiffany Cross is not what that ain't. She's skin folk. I'm gonna say her name, Rashida Jones.
Oh wow, wow. All right.
Hey Rashida. Hey girl.
Oh my God, yo.
I told you I don't care. I'm calling it out. I'm calling it all out. What happened to Tiffany Cross was not right.
I still miss you, Tiffany Cross, and I think that was a whole ugly thing. But not
it was ugly.
Yeah,
we can go back into that. But while we're in the spirit of what you worked on, what's it like to work with Gina from Martin? You know what I'm saying? I just imagine it being so silly. Like,
it's a good time. Tisha Campbell is a good time, and you guys know that. Anything you've seen Tisha in, you've seen Tisha. Like Tisha is loud, she crazy, she's down for anything funny. She's brilliant at physical comedy. What's on the page, she comes up with imaginative things. The same for Kim. Kim is a beast. She's a comedic beast, and she's stealth. Like Kim will do things that you don't even know Kim has done until you watch the show and go, oh my God. And she's also amazing with physical comedy and also one of the kindest, sweetest, most heart people in this industry. Kim Whitley is the real deal, and she's from Ohio. We're both from Cleveland. She's just one of my greatest friends, and just a delight to work with. We're having a great time, and the babies over there, Mariah and Nathan, are just delicious.
Yeah, y'all are a legendary cast. That's an outstanding cast right there.
That I couldn't have pitched it better myself. I mean, I didn't think of it as a Golden Girls type thing, because it didn't seem like,
Well, also to be girlfriends 30 years later.
Yeah. Girlfriends, because I mean, we don't crack.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because of the laws of Black don't crack. I feel like a Golden Girls that y'all have to be like 140 years old to make that work.
Yeah. She said Golden Girls because Golden Girls is a classic, and only the people who are around our age know that this is what we came up on.
I was 12 years old watching Golden Girls. You thought I was
my best friend.
I was right there with
she's 30 years old, and her whole pregnancy with her first baby, I'm not gonna lie, Golden Girls was on every single day. And I used to ask her, how do you rewatch this?
No. I'm telling you, if you guys, any good sitcom, if the characters are written well, you can watch it. It doesn't have to be your experience. You can watch it. And I hope that that's the same thing with Act Your Age, because you don't have to be a Black woman of a certain age to enjoy it. I know some white dudes that are watching Act Your Age and having the time of their lives. So you don't have to be us to experience us, because we're just people. Just people,
And people have this misconception that comedy doesn't age well. And I hate that when people say that, because comedy ages well if it's good.
If it's good comedy, if it's written well. You can watch a All in the Family episode right now and laugh like it's brand new. Same thing with the Cosby Show or A Different World. Like, it's just, Seinfeld was a great show, great comedy show. Right? Come on,
unusually very, very good.
Bad tie.
I just have to ask this question, because I'd be remiss if I go this entire show and don't ask this question, because you are such an amazing woman with a beautiful smile, and I just want to know. Are you taking applications? Not for myself. I'm not saying for myself. I'm just saying that there is no reason that all this melanin should just be alone out here. And listen, I know you're taking care of your dad and you got a lot of other business, but are you presently accepting applications?
I keep her so much from smiling right now.
I am always accepting applications. The DMs have been open. They dry as hell though. The DMs open. I'll be telling people, if you are a brother and you think that you the man, do it. But this is what I get guys popping in going, hey, beautiful.
Okay. What's that gonna do for me?
I need, come on, just say hi. My name is John, and I saw you on television. I think you're nice. I live in wherever, and I really think, just have a conversation. Like, don't just send me hi and a wave.
He's taking notes. Calm down. I saw him looking for it.
Tyrone, you got the number. Call. You feeling froggy?
This is the second time, brother. You know,
absolutely. No, but no, I really, this is the thing. I don't get asked out a lot. I really don't. I don't know if people assume that I have a man or what, but I don't get asked out a lot. And again, in the same way I live my career, I'm not stressing it. If I'm meant to be somebody's good thing, God is going to bring them into my life, but I'm not desperate. I'm not sad. I have a beautiful life. And if it goes that way one day, I would love it. You know, so yes, the DMs are open, but make it count, fellas. Like, if you come in, like, go, baby.
Could it be that you are a beautiful, strong, empowered Black woman and people are intimidated, and that might be why you're not getting the DM messages that you think you should be getting?
I don't know. I think I'm really nice and approachable, so there's really no reason not to. And I'm not.
But that's the thing, though. It's not you. Remember, it's other people's insecurities. You know what I'm saying? So it's not.
Yeah, they shouldn't be insecure. And the thing is, too, I'm not one of those women that's like, well, I need you to have. I'm not that chick. Like, I just all I need a man to have, honestly, is I need him to have a dream that he believes in that makes him happy. Because the problem comes, whatever I've accumulated in my life, the problem comes when a man doesn't have his own thing that he's excited about. So then he spends his time looking at what you're doing, feeling like he's less than. And it's not the woman making him feel less. It's because he hasn't found his thing. So find your thing and you can be on anywhere within the path towards it. You don't have to be balling out of control, but make it be something that makes you get up every day and want to do it. You know, whatever it is, you know.
Just apologizing for the future when this airs and your DMs start blowing the fuck up.
I hope they do. I hope they do. And don't send me no body parts. I don't want to see nothing you working with.
I was gonna say disclaimers: no body parts, no body parts ain't happening.
I'm a respectful Christian woman. Step respectfully, but step by all means. Step.
What's your opinion on light-skinned men with mustaches and ponytails?
Bring them in.
She said she liked the bars. That's I feel like
we heard her. We heard her.
I mean, I can't.
I was gonna say Ty. You might just have to shave.
I guess time will reveal what happened.
Nicely done, sir. Nicely done.
Hey, Ty, why don't you go ahead and drop that Casey and JoJo on them right quick, homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Look. Let me ask this last thing, and then I'll throw it around to everybody.
Wait, Steph.
Go ahead, Steph.
I was just going to ask quick, and the answer maybe no, because I know you have a lot of things going on. But while we're on the topic of love connections, do you watch Love Is Blind?
Do you know you're the third person to tell me I should be watching Love Is Blind?
It's okay. They told me too. Don't worry.
Y'all be watching it?
So terribly delicious. It's so. It is.
Beth and I frantically talked about this.
Your eyes away from. There are times where it's awful, and I have to remind myself they signed up for this. This is voluntary. They knew it. It's just. It's so ridiculous. If you ever in a moment where you're just like, I need to unplug from reality and be lost in someone else's problems,
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You're the third person.
Well, listen, let me interject real quick and kind of pile on to Steph. As somebody, as a married man who's watched involuntarily, I can honestly say that it is a rewarding watch. It's one of those shows where at the end of every show, you let the up next go on through the 10 seconds and go to that next show. Because you're like, all right, let me see if he gonna do what I think he gonna do.
Okay.
He did it. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So I gotta get it.
In addition to that, Steph is in the process, as of right now. I hope you don't mind me breaking news, Steph.
Oh, you can do it.
We're in the process of producing her own show segment where it's called Love Is Blurred. And we speak on things such as this. So she will more than likely be facilitating talk that surrounds these type of subjects. So
meet Ed Nolly. She's been
her and Nolly and Yaz will pop in from time to time.
Yeah, I'll pop in sometimes.
But yeah, if you do Love at First Sight, Married at First Sight, Love After Lockup, 90 Day Fiance, things like that.
You know why I haven't gotten in it, guys? Really, because I'm terrified. Because I think I would just lose my whole entire life. That's why I don't watch the Housewives show.
Yeah.
Because if you watch one,
yep.
I went down a rabbit hole with OC. I don't care nothing about what's happening in OC. I watched like 12 episodes back to back on Saturday. I don't know what happened. So I try to just not dip a toe in because I won't get anything done.
The drama is so entertaining. It's drama is extremely entertaining for everybody. Like you see a little drama, you're like.
It depends though, because drama now compared to what it was, like Steph and I were interjecting like a while ago when we were talking about like Flavor of Love, you know what I'm saying? Like Rock of Love. That was super entertaining, and it was just because these women were fighting each other for 10 seconds with this one man that like. Yeah, it was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? So some of it's funny, some of it I'm like, I don't know. I will try and definitely jump on that train also. So Yvette, you and I will dabble in that and see where we go. Okay.
There's a black couple on this season that is giving me everything I want.
Okay.
And
I got it. Okay. Maybe I'll.
What's episode do we need to find out?
It's somewhere between 1 and 24.
Oh my gosh.
There's 24 episodes?
No, there's only 11 so far.
Yeah.
Maybe I can fast forward and watch the black people.
That is what I do. I pick and choose the couples I want to watch. There's one guy, Kwame, that every time he comes on the screen, I'm like, nope.
Fast forward.
Okay.
No Kwame.
The minute Kwame sat down and was like, I'd like to go by Alex, and I was like, out. He's one of those. Get out.
Yep.
Wow, one of those. Okay.
That did it for me too.
No, you know.
All right.
The last question I have, and then guys, please feel free. But we definitely, like I said, I don't want Yvette to be like, okay, guys, I gotta go. I want to make sure we can release her to the wild without feeling like we held her too long. And this is a very simple. I mean, I think I know the answer to this, but when you do get a chance to work with Black Lady Sketch Show, when you do get a chance to work with Bounce TV, as we've already established, there's a difference with regard to the level of respect. But in terms of an emotional feeling that you get, is it so rewarding? You know what I'm saying? To just be able to be in a circle of professionals that also share and embody your experience as a culture. Does it warm your soul more?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And make it more gravitating. And even to the point where you may even take a pay cut just to be. I mean, I'm not trying to petition you for any projects. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. I was remiss in not mentioning Robin Thede in my list of great women to work with, because she's a lot of fun, and she runs a very tight ship that's very safe. I did I can't remember if it was the first or second time I did Black Lady Sketch Show. We shot during COVID, and Robin Thede had the safest COVID set I had been on, and I worked on a lot of sets during the pandemic, but I felt like I was healthier leaving Robin's set. The beauty of Black Lady Sketch Show in particular is that they bring funny women on, and then they let the funny women be funny. So we created, we have the script, and we have to do what the script says. Of course, we have to say our lines and whatnot, but Robin always, and the directors that she has, they always encourage a fun run where you get to say and do whatever you want. And Gabrielle Dennis in particular is such a plum fool. You have no idea what Gabrielle is going to do on the fun run. And so it literally, there's takes of me in Black Lady Sketch Show that will never see the light of day because I laugh through them. And the person that laughs the most in our scenes is Issa Rae. Issa Rae don't care about breaking. Issa will break. Issa don't care if the close up on you. If it's funny, Issa gonna laugh. And so Robin loves to make Issa break. So Robin will come up whenever they're walking down the courtroom, coming out where they're walking in. You don't know what Robin gonna say. And here's Issa, shoulders going. It's literally that all day. It's literally hanging with your sisters and getting to laugh and also celebrate their greatness. Like there's such a excitement that they have for you when you come, and there's an excitement that you have when you go because you're with your family and we making something funny, and let's do this. Like the same feeling we have at your age, we have this feeling like, let's do this for Allison. We're coming to bring our gifts because this is Allison's shot as a showrunner, and we want to show up for Allison. And that's the writers, that's the producers, that's us as actors. And it's the same thing on set when you're working on Black Lady Sketch Show. Let's do this for Robin. Let's do this. I'm coming saying, let me make Gabrielle shine. Let me make Sky shine. Like it's literally that type of vibe. It's amazing.
quick follow-up. So what was the story behind having to call Kim and get her on board? What was all that about?
There was someone else that was cast on the show, and that person fell out. Great actress, but she fell out. I don't know if it was scheduling or what the situation was. And so we had a very tight timeline to shoot. We shot Act Your Age 2 episodes a week. We shot 16 episodes in like 10 weeks of time with rehearsal and everything. It was crazy how fast we shot that show. And so Kim had, I think, 4 hours to make a decision. And so the agents reached out to her, but then me and Tisha we jumped her. We called her, girl, look, we doing this for Allison. Say yes. Like she didn't have time to really negotiate her money. She didn't know where we were. She didn't know anything. Just on this for Allison, and because it was me and Tisha, Kim said yes within 4 hours. And then the next day she was on set, like, okay, who am I playing? What am I? Like it was crazy. So yeah, and it wasn't that we had to convince her, because this is the type of role where it's made for Kim is great in this role. So it wasn't that, it was just the decision she had to make. And she also, this hasn't been said, she had booked an arc on another really big show. And she had to say no to doing those 2 or 3 episodes on that show in order to do Act Your Age. So she chose us.
Oh, I see what you mean. She chose us.
She chose us. Yeah.
And that's what it's about sometimes. What you said to her? What you was like, girl, if you don't
I just said, girl, we're doing this for
girl, we from Ohio.
The same way we're doing this from Cleveland. The same way we would roll up for you if it was your opportunity. Let's roll up for Allison.
Yo, she was
and
like,
also, it was a little selfish too, because me and Tisha knew how tight the schedule was. And to do this show, you need somebody that has sitcom as a muscle memory. Like it needs to be somebody that knows how to move on a multicam set like it's the back of their hand, and that is Kim Whitley. So
absolutely,
Cleveland is the city where we come from. So run, and but I'm close to the Armageddon. He's 99. He's 99.
Come on with it.
She was like, "You better pull up to the crossroads, man."
Yo, that's be lonely.
Well, listen, guys, if there's nothing else, I feel like at the bare minimum, we should at least end this and start making our way to the next time we have the pleasure of having Miss Yvette Nicole Brown. I guess there's only one thing we could ask. Since it's been, I think, almost a year since our last shout out, if you wouldn't mind giving one quick shout out to the new Blurred Order real quick, face to cam, and we'll go ahead and we'll pull up real quick. You know who we is, though, and let us know what it is.
You don't got to do nothing. You looking great.
Right.
All right. Hey, y'all, you are with the new Blurred Order. Roll up.
Yes. All day, every day. Well, listen, man, y'all already know what it is. Thank y'all for tuning in with the queen of blurrdom, queen of all around good things, and one not afraid to speak her mind. Miss Yvette, let's go ahead and clap it up for y'all, man. She came through, stood around, kept us on top, and even, topped us off a couple ledges. We cannot thank you enough. Legit. And listen, I don't care what. I know that there's a million people that are in your fandom, but there's never going to be a moment in which we are not in your awe and not in awe of you, just in utter, just cannot get enough of what it is that you not only bring to Black culture, but what you also provide in terms of blurred culture, because you mainstream and you the real one. So thank you so kindly. Shirt coming in soon.
Yes.
Don't even worry.
I need my merch.
Don't worry, I'll be in your messages soon. Okay.
In a second. So we'll go ahead and we'll bid y'all adieu. Thank y'all for tuning in. As we always say on each and every single episode, be yourself. Because if you ain't being yourself and you ain't being authentic, then guess what? You're being fake. And everything we do, if you're gonna go ahead and be a blurred, let that geek flag fly. Hallelujah. Holla.
Hey guys, I love the new Blurred Order. You should too.
Whoa.